Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is a special Patreon review for Trish Murray.
Trish the Dish.
Oh my god, she sent us that huge fucking box.
She's badass.
That's not what we meant. That's not what we made.
Oh, no, we didn't.
She sent us a huge box of goodies.
We meant that.
Trish, you've been a Patreon for so fucking long, and you've been a supporter of us for so fucking long, and you're an awesome friend, and an awesome human being, and one of her Patreon requests that she's the winner of the Patreon request of this week, and it is Face Off.
I mean, what can you say about Face Off except John Woo? Woo!
Two guns, slow motion.
When you think of John Woo, the first thing that instantly pops in your head is pigeons or doves and a fight scene happening in some kind of weird church on the middle of a hill. That's exactly what happens in this movie, and by God, thank God for John Woo.
I've seen this movie 1,000 times, and for the first time ever, I noticed how close the music was to Broken Arrow.
It is.
Maybe the son of a bitch is dead.
What a terrible thing to say.
It's so cool, and you have John Travolta coming back. I mean, this is a classic tale of like good versus evil. Pretty much, I mean, it's a good cop that's bent on the revenge against a serial mass murderer, terrorist guy in Nicolas Cage, Castor Troy. You don't see movies like this come out anymore. I mean, you very rarely see movies like this anymore. And the way that John Woo was able to capture not only the cool music, the cool, like, you know, cool guys don't look at explosions. It just had that feel to it, and like just the dynamic between both of them, and the way that it turns it on its head. It was really cool. By the way, like I always thought, like at the very beginning of the movie, when you get Nicolas Cage as the bad guy, and he's a fucking great bad guy. Like he really is good. He reminded me like almost like a little bit of a Joker, you know, especially during when he does the Hallelujah song, and he, yeah, you know, he was all fucking excited. Like it reminded me of like a Joker-esque type of character, but it also reminded me that that's the perpetual state that you stay in when you convince your mom to pick you up early from school because you fake being sick. You're like, oh! And you're walking through it.
Or do you get over the snow day, or you get off work early? Yeah, that's true.
But it was great, and he was a great bad guy, and I loved it, and he was able to, you know, shine and be versatile in that role. And then John Travolta has always been like, he can play both parts, but they flip it on its head, and then basically John Travolta is basically playing Broken Arrow guy again, and Nicolas Cage is saving the day. So it was kind of weird how they did that, but it's still, like, I love the shit out of it.
Yeah, and it's weird because in Broken Arrow, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure he literally says the line, "Ain't it cool?" in both this and in Broken Arrow. But it's crazy. It's funny that you mentioned the Joker thing, because at one point when I was watching this, when Nicolas Cage wakes up and he realizes that his fucking face is gone, and all that shit's going on, I actually thought that. I was like, Nicolas Cage is a huge fucking comic book fan, right? Mm-hmm. Huge. He's one of the few people that owns the first issue of Superman.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, I bet in his mind, and I'll bet you $100 fucking that I don't have, that he... Did the dog fart?
No, it burped.
Oh. Did you give him beer?
A little bit. It's good for their soul.
But I was thinking, I was like, I bet this, in his mind, I guarantee you, he was like, I'm gonna be the Joker in this scene. Because it plays back to 1989 Batman when Jack Nicholson sees his face for the first time and he freaks out or whatever. And that performance alone, like, this movie as a whole doesn't get the credit that it deserves. Nicolas Cage's performance doesn't get the credit. But that scene specifically where you just hear him screaming, like fucking crazy. It wasn't. He was the Joker, man.
He was screaming, crying, and then back to screaming and losing his fucking mind.
We're gonna deal with it. Yes, we are.
They took the switch for some fucking... But it's cool. We're gonna deal with it. Oh yes, we're gonna deal with it.
I'm losing my mind. Like, and it
was total Joker.
Yeah, it did. It came off as complete Joker. And also, there was I didn't read the issue, I don't think, but there was one. I think when they rebooted the DC universe, there's actually a scene where Joker's so fucking crazy, he cuts his own face off and like nails the face, and he was all even more nutso than he usually is.
So the ending when he actually is
Yeah.
like trying to slice his face off.
Well, yeah. So I mean, there's so many cool things to talk about in this movie, though. But one of the again, I think the coolest thing is the dynamic that they set up between Castor Troy and Sean Archer, meaning John Travolta and Nicolas Cage's characters, respectively. It's just
Finkel and Einhorn.
Sean Archer his whole world is consumed with taking down Castor Troy, because early on in the film you do see that Castor Troy was obsessed with Sean Archer a long time ago, shoots at his ass when he's on a carousel and kills Sean Archer's son, and then Sean Archer's like, fuck it, I'm not going to become the Punisher. I'm not going to become that guy because Thomas Jane is already in this movie.
He is in this movie too. It's one of those weird Thomas Jane appearances.
But I am going to be badass and fuck Scientology for a minute.
Yeah.
And
did you find it weird, by the way, when he was about to snipe him and John Travolta's playing on his son with the carousel and doing the boop? When he's playing on someone with his carousel and Nicolas Cage is about to shoot him. I always found it so weird that he stops to take a drink of a fountain soda pop. Like it's in the middle of it
straw.
with his fucking mustache. This movie has so many weird things in it like that, like little tiny things. And you guys have seen the movie. Like I'm sure if you're interested enough to watch this, you've seen the fucking movie. I feel like the characters fit way better with John Travolta as the good guy and Nicolas Cage as the bad guy.
I thought it was the other way around.
Really?
Yeah.
You like the second half?
Yeah, because I do think that Nicolas Cage is great as the bad guy, and I did want to see the movie go that route, but at the same time, when it flips around and now Travolta's the bad guy versus Nicolas Cage the good guy, I was like, that just feels the way the world is supposed to work.
Man, I felt totally.
I know, because I know, but it's like when you put your underwear on backwards the way you felt. Like, it feels weird, but I'll
Daddy,
work
would
with
you
it.
like some sausage?
Yeah, it's like, it feels weird, but I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm not gonna pull my pants down at fucking Sears.
If I were to let you suck my tongue, would you be grateful?
Well, like his brother is his brother is like borderline fucking pedophile. Like the way he's like,
I find the sea eels erotic. When he crashes the plane into the fucking thing and it somehow doesn't explode.
That's what I was thinking.
The
There was,
two
like,
guns
gas.
and the slow motion and all that shit going on. I'm just watching it. I'm going, man, just like you said, they don't fucking make shit like this anymore. This movie is such a one of a kind. And I think some people shit on it because a lot of it's unbelievable. Sure, I mean, it's just fucking, they made up a technology that doesn't exist.
Yeah. It just didn't give a fuck. It's mind-numbingly awesome. It's an adventure, excitement for all to see, and you don't have to really. You could have this in the background cleaning your fucking house, but like, woo!
It's true, dude. You really can.
Fuck yeah! Oh my god, dude! And that part when Nicolas Cage was confronting the doctor, and you could see the cigarette sticking out of his mouth and his reflections of his glasses because they couldn't show that shit. I was like, god damn!
Oh, that's what I meant to say too. There's a horror aspect to this film that nobody fucking talks about. When you see that shit and you see Nicolas Cage without his fucking face talking, he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I'll give you one goddamn guess." It's
He's like, "I was just having some of your groovy painkillers."
Dude, there's so many. Like everybody talks about Crazy Cage and Mandy and like and all the fucking crazy roles that he's done. I feel like Face Off almost doesn't get mentioned because there's so much good in it. But the shit that Nick Cage does, like even the little parts when he's actually Sean Archer and he goes and he takes drugs with those guys, and my favorite thing that he does, dude, is when he has to beat Castor Troy and he's this close to slipping into fucking madness because this guy killed his fucking kid and is now banging his wife. Like it's fucking nuts. But the shit he's going through, like the first scene when he goes to the prison and he starts to get his ass kicked and his brother looks at him and he's like, I don't believe it's you or whatever, and he's sitting there and he's like, he wipes blood off his face and he's like, like back and forth. It's so good.
I remember watching that scene and I was like, is Sean Archer actually losing his mind? Is there some kind of brain damage from the operation where, like, what if he actually becomes Castor Troy? Like, I don't know.
I think he's in so much fucking pain just with his life, his son dying. He's literally wearing the skin of the man who killed his son. And eventually later on, the guy who killed his son has also boned his wife and is living in his fucking house.
Day.
And
it's
then,
not Tuesday.
And then later on, when he's sitting in there and he's talking to his friends or whatever, and they give him drugs, and he's like, you can see him. He starts. He's like, because I sleep with his wife, and they all start laughing, and he's like, and he's like, oh.
Crash, great.
What's her name? Sasha, which is Gina Gershon. She's hot as fuck. fuck.
Yeah.
But he turns around, and he's like.
That's when he's high and he's staring in the mirror. He's like,
that's when you turn around. That's when you know you drank too much at the bar, and your significant other comes behind you, and you're like, honey, are you like, oh, look, so come back on the band.
Not me. I'm me. Not me. Caster. Archer. Caster Archer.
Again, it goes to show you how great of an actor Nicolas Cage is. And yeah, Crazy Cage, and everybody loves that. And I think that Nicolas Cage over the years has embraced that. Like, he's like, yeah, you know what? I go a little extreme.
Smartly so.
Crazy, evil.
When you see him switch, there's an interesting thing that the actors have to do where they have to act like the other actor.
He was doing it.
Nobody gives him credit for this. Yeah, but like Nicolas Cage is acting, and he has to, like, before they fully form the characters after the switch is made, Nicolas Cage, he tries to have the nuances that John Travolta has as an actor, and you get to watch him do that, and it's fun to watch John Travolta try to do the crazy kind of shit that Nicolas Cage
He kind of does pull it off a little bit.
They both do.
Well, at the very end, especially in the church, he's like, Sasha, what the fuck are you doing here? And then there was also the scene when he first meets up with Sean Archer as Castor Troy, and him being Castor Troy meeting up. It's all confusing. John Travolta meets up with Nicolas Cage in the in the prison, and he was like, "Woo, boy, you good looking, you hot."
You good looking.
But it's funny, dude, because it makes you realize that everybody talks Crazy Cage, but John Travolta has that streak too. He's done that, not just that film, but Broken Arrow and other films like that. He has a crazy streak to him where he goes off the hinges, but nobody ever talks about it. In this film, he showcases it, and you get some of the best Crazy Cage that you've ever gotten. I think my favorite line of all the great lines, though, is when John Travolta's got his gun to his head, and he's like, "Please don't kill me, man. Please don't kill me." But then he starts to pull the knife out, and he's like, "Well, I guess you better pull the trigger, because I don't give a fuck." But dude, it's such a great fucking movie, and it's a little long in the tooth, and the action scenes are completely unbelievable, and there's some dumb shit like, for instance, when did you laugh, by the way, when he meets that kid who looks like his son, and he's got to be on the edge of craziness. Michael, and then he takes the kid home, and he literally replaces his dead son with a kid that looks just like him.
You know what?
He looks at his mom like, "Can he stay?" Like it's a fucking puppy dog. Some shit makes you roll your eyes.
I rolled my eyes at that, but I got a little teary-eyed too.
I did too.
Oh no, I got when he was like he mouthed okay, and then that music swells up. It's like boom, boom, and then he hugs up like, fuck.
Yeah. At first I was
Goddamn
like,
onions.
This is fucking stupid, but then I was like,
yeah, I do the same. I do the same, Travolta. But yeah, overall, man, yeah, it might be a little long. It might have some issues as far as reality goes, but who gives a fuck? We're watching Nicolas Cage take on Travolta in one of the last escapades into the action late 90s kind of films.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.0. I love the fuck out of this movie. And you know, like I said, it's an easy watch. You can watch it all day long. If it comes on TNT, I don't even know if there is a TNT, TBS, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah. If it comes on TV, you can watch it and be like, God damn yes. Back to my fucking homework, or back to my taxes, or back to fucking my mistress.
I get
or
sucked
whatever.
in, man.
But yeah, man, a 9.0, like it's a solid movie.
I'll go a little higher. I go 9.5. I just take a little bit off for the over. Sometimes, like, seriously, like, I love it. I'm glad they did it, but at some point you're just like, by the time they get to the boat race thing, you're like, well, I know the boat race scene is there, so they're like at an action piece in the middle, and I'm like, we still have the boat race scene.
By the way, I want to point out how realistic those stunt doubles look.
When they're flying in the air, it looks like Tom Cruise.
It looked like Kitty G. It's like, obviously that's not Tom Cruise. That's not even fucking. That's nobody. Like, you could tell. Like, I was like, am I watching just two henchmen? Like, they look like, obviously they didn't look anything like Nick Cage or John Travolta.
For sure.
But that's its charm. I mean, that's like back in the day when they didn't have well, they did have CG effects, but not to the point we have them now. But you could tell that motherfucker that was skiing on water was definitely not Nicolas Cage.
So thank you, Trish. That was a great fucking movie. It's one of our all-time favorites. Yep. It's a fucking fantastic film, and you're a fantastic fucking person, and all of you guys are. And if you want to get in on the Patreon, the link is down below. We love your fucking faces, and if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you. Ain't
Woo! Hey guys.
'Cause I don't give a fuck.
If you guys ever meet us in real life, you're gonna see a couple of things. One thing you're gonna notice is that we're late. The second thing you're gonna notice is doves flying ahead of us, and then we're gonna walk slowly with the tumbleweed going before us.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.